Greetings! What is up, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is still hiding, and the magpie is still casting. Coming to you guys with another 1v1, fresh from the ladder. Today featuring, spawning in the north, it is going to be the Wehrmacht forces of TR Expensive Runner. And in the south, it is going to be the Soviet Union forces of 1st Ashablois. Ashablois, this is interesting actually. There were two players, one in the top-rated ladder game and one in the second ladder game, both with this tag, but with some slightly different punctuation. So I don't know what the deal is with them. They're clearly like I don't know, homies of some variety or something. I don't know. Just interesting to see two people out there with basically the same tag. The map is going to be Crossing in the Woods. Maybe my favorite map. I just really wanted to cast a game on this map. And to be honest, I'm really happy that it's Wehrmacht against Soviets. Back to good old vanilla Company of Heroes. Wehrmacht versus Soviets on Crossing in the Woods. But it isn't as vanilla as I hoped, because we already have an interesting commander pick. It's going to be the defensive doctrine here. There it is on your screen. Hit pause if you want to overview those. I'm sure most of us are now familiar with this doctrine. I've cast a game recently featuring Jove on the channel. So if you haven't watched that game, perhaps go pause this one and then go back and watch Jove's game on the channel, because that was a very interesting game featuring, of course, some very high-level play. What else would you expect from Jove? But it looks like this is a slightly different take on the doctrine. Jove, in that game, went for 5, I believe it was, Ostripan squads in rapid succession before choosing any other unit. And in this game, we've already got an MG42 coming out onto the field for Expensive Runner. And you have to think that that could be map dependent. This has just always been a good map for an early MG42. Plenty of buildings dotted around the map. You can use the MG42 in buildings like this to babysit important points. You can use the MG42 centrally to cover the bridge. You can put it in these more defensive buildings to help defend your half of the map. And if you're super brutal, you can leapfrog it into the opponent's half of the map. And it's just a good map. There's a lot of crucial passes which a machine gun can shut down. And going to be getting that MG42 nice and early, backing it up with 3 squads of conscripts here. And for Ashablois, hey, look at this. We've got a special rifle command, and we've got a clown car coming out. So yeah, we've got a rifle command opening, which I have to say, since I've come back to the game, and I don't know what's happened to me, I've always been, I would say, like 65-35 Axis allied myself, like in terms of just how I find myself playing. I just normally want to click on an Axis team and play them. Nothing against allies, and I don't have any sort of particular favoritism in the game. I just really like playing as some of the Axis units, I suppose. But since I've come back to the game, I've been playing as like 80-20 Soviet any other faction. Like, Soviets just seem hella fun now. Like, the new commander with the forward fallback point and just the changes to the Soviet faction in general just make them play so... it's just such an organic, fun experience. And I have to say, I am opening most games with Special Rifle Command, and I am clowning people. That is a fun thing. And like, I don't know, I must be on like a 3-game streak now where I've got that clown car to 3 stars of veterancy and had it still alive at like the 15-minute mark. So I'm feeling pretty chuffed. If this keeps up, I might have to make like a clown car compilation video. I don't know if you guys remember a long time ago, I made the Storm Tiger compilation video and also the Goliath compilation video back when I was caning people down with those units. But yeah, we'll see. It's a little bit harder to get like spectacular, like, oh my god moments with the clown car, but you can still get some pretty heinous work done with that unit. So anyway, looks like we've got a penal, triple penal squad battalion opening coming out here from Ashablois. Who I might just shorten to Asher. So it's going to be some... Oh my goodness, my mouse is definitely getting worse. I'm sorry guys, we're just going to have to bear with this mouse until the physical hardware replacement actually arrives. And I haven't even gotten around to ordering that yet. Anyway, Faust's going to come through here onto this scout car, so that is dire times. It's near an MG42, but the penal battalion should see that one off for now. So unlikely to get anything done. And this play for the cutoff point that we see Asher making here is probably going to be a success. Yeah, there we go. So that's some nice stuff here. Now, ironically, he is controlling the cutoff, but he's not cutting anything off, but only because he actually has captured everything over here in east of map. So it's safe to say a pretty dire predicament for our Axis player to be in. Now, whoa, the clown car gets taken out by a second Faust. It is abandoned, so you know what, I wouldn't be surprised to see Asher here just take that one out to prevent the Axis units from capitalizing on this abandoned scout car. I don't think he's going to be able to repair and extract this hardware. Indeed, he agrees. I think he's going to go for another one. Yeah, there we go. So the clown car gets taken out. We've got a 2-2-2 coming out on the field, which seems like a really nice counter to a Special Rifle Command opening, and that is going to counter this clown car really nicely. Indeed, if the 2-2-2 reveals itself here, we may see the clown car cancelled. Yep, there it goes. So a nice cancel there. I have to agree, getting a second clown car into a 2-2-2 is a pretty terrible move most of the time, unless you've got some kind of special plan lined up or you're feeling especially confident for some other reason. So yeah, I do like the cancel on the clown car for Ashablois. Hey, my boys! Yeah! This is the new Soviet commander that I've been having so much fun with. I'm just going to have a sip on my drink here. So yeah, this is the new Soviet commander that I've been having such fun with. So let's have a look here. Okay, well, hang on. This 2-2-2 coming in deep really wants the squad wipe here. Whoa, comes under the heavy MG arc. Does get the squad wipe. Wow. And there's a light AT gun here, but it ain't going to be enough. And the 2-2-2 somehow gets away. Wow, what a back and forth game this has already been. We're 6 minutes in, and this has been some nice tactics and punchy strategies displayed by both factions here, so very nice. But anyway, let's take a look at this commander. Urban Defense Tactics for Soviet Union. You get the forward headquarters. Now, these are not expensive. I believe they cost like some manpower. I'll check in a second if I can. Yeah, you can build a building which is a forward fallback point, and it can even heal units. It's crazy. You get the light AT gun, which I really like. That light AT gun, it's cheap, 240. It's actually potent enough. Like, you can police a Panzer IV if you know what you're doing. You know, like, don't try and use it like a Zis gun, but you know, if you get some veterancy onto this light AT gun, what is it called? An M42. Yeah, you can get some work done, and it's cheap enough that you don't really mind if you lose it, like, not super badly. Wow, and it appears to have the concealed movement thing as well, so that's pretty cool. You also get the shock troops, who are just, you know, everybody loves shock troops. Booby trap, I mean, I like a good booby trap, and you get the siege tank. So, like, I gotta say, this right now is my go-to Soviet boy. This, what is it again? Urban Defense. Urban Defense Tactics is rocking my world. Is this the guy? I don't think this is the new commander, actually. This is, yeah, no, this is the old commander who, okay, they've changed him, so he has just the forward headquarters ability. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, when I saw the KV2, that was when I was like, huh, this isn't the guy I've been using. Anyway, whatever. Nice to see Soviets have some cool commanders, even if I'm a little bit confused about them. Oh. Axis are going to be going for a relatively early half-track here, so just some really weird divergent builds out of both of these players. Double anti-tank gun? I'm so confused about what I'm seeing in this game. Well, it's going to be a Flammenwerfer half-track, so you have to feel like the two AT guns are going to do wonders against this. Going for a second MG42. I'm liking everything I'm seeing here from the Axis player. These two AT guns are going to be a nightmare, though. You're never going to be able to take them down with just one flame half-track. So yeah, he's going to get that flame half-track out of there just about okay. Second MG42 going to be coming out here, and that's going to enable him to lock down large amounts of map. He needs to probably, like... I always come back to bases and see idle units, and I'm like, why are you being so inefficient? You must move these out immediately. But it's just, in your average game, players are just going to waste a few seconds on units when they fall them back sometimes. It happens. So I can't be too critical about that. Goodness knows I do it myself. So is this the PTRSs we've got coming down? Yeah, so he's gone for PTRSs on one of his penal squads so far. And you have to think that's going to do really well against both the 222 and the 251 half-track. So nice stuff there. Half-track ready. I gotta say, I'm loving this mechanized style, though, out of our Axis player. How much are half-tracks these days? Yeah, still 30 fuel. Okay, so not much change there. We're gonna see a grenade here? Yep. Bundaroo grenade! Oh dear, that's a demo charge, sorry. Oh, one of those MG operators. Really sluggish to run away there. He's gonna get blown up by the satchel charge. How much are satchel charges nowadays, actually? 45 munitions still. Cool. Just checking on all these things. Okay, yeah, this is totally not the new Soviet doctrine. My bad. I got super excited about that, and then I was like, you're totally wrong, Magpie. You're totally wrong. So, pretty even games so far, I guess. An 80s ticket lead, though, for the Axis player is pretty nice. And this doctrine here seems to really mesh well with what the Wehrmacht faction is already offering. Mostly because you get useful options at every stage of the game, but you get the crucial Ostrupin early, and one of the biggest, like, I don't know, almost balancing points of the Wehrmacht faction, especially when you're playing against Soviets, is that in the early game you tend not to have as much field presence. Your units are more expensive and less durable, on average. And so, yeah, you tend to be playing with, like, less than half of field control, or, like, on average. Like, you have windows where you have more than half of field control, but against a good Soviet player, you'll usually be behind on VPs in the early game, and that's fine. But when you pick a commander who can bring in inexpensive and good infantry squads in Ostrapen, you don't actually have to put up with that disadvantage, and that's what we see right now. The Axis player is so active on the map. He has a diverse roster with 2 vehicles, 2 MGs, 3 solid 6-man infantry squads, and yeah, it's just really strong. It just meshes so well with what the Wehrmacht faction is already offering. Speaking of which as well, we've got some nice barbed wire coming down in good positions here to deny use on these sandbags and this cover here. So really nice stuff here coming out from expensive runner. Not much else going on the map right now, which is why I've just got my camera focused in the west over here. Flame half-track is going to sneak by the AT gun and start burninating these penals. That is going to have to force them to relocate. Mark of a veteran or a more veteran player. Not immediately flash fallbacking that squad, just going to get them back out of the flame range. They can take a bit more abuse than that. The nice durable Soviet squads here. And we've got the T-70 now on the field. And that's going to push back Axis forces in mid. And a pretty even game right now, except for the triple cap being maintained by Axis here. So Soviet forces do find themselves now at 367 under 475. This is pretty tough for Ashablois. Definitely a lot further behind than you want to be at this stage in the game. T-70 though, going to encounter this 222. And I imagine this is just going to be one of those fights where both of these units end up walking away alive. I can't imagine this T-70 wants to stay too much longer. You are just kind of feeding veterancy onto the 222. Oh wow, this 222 being so brave though. You have to kite away. There we go, yeah, the 222 gonna disengage right now. Let's check the tech here for our Axis player. So Battle Phase 2 has been selected. We have the support armor core constructed. Remember, that's a lot cheaper now than what I'm used to. So these opportunities not nearly so costly as they used to be for Wehrmacht. And I feel like all of the factions, we've got some mines here as well. I feel like all of the factions have been changed and just made so much more viable and so much more fun and empowering to play in so many different ways. And like, I think Wehrmacht and Soviet probably the most transformed from what I've seen so far. I think UKF still a bit inflexible, still, I don't know. I just haven't seen anything that makes me particularly excited about UKF just yet, but I haven't actually got around to playing as them yet, so not quite sure. That's going to be a satchel charge. An ineffective satchel charge there from those penal battalion as they fall back. Soviet forces managing to grab a couple of the VPs, stemming the bleeding somewhat now. 355 under 475 for Ashablois. And I wonder if he's got a plan for this commander. I wonder if we're going to see something different as the game moves on. So the tech choice, okay, no tech choice yet from the support armor core. And we've got the Tank of E Battalion command, no other tech buildings for Soviet yet. Wow, this game's moving so fast. I'm just like trying to keep up with it. Nice little skirmish here. Is Ostrapen going to be able to get out safely? I think. Oh wow, the penal's actually up in this building. PTRS is going to be. Whoa, PTRSs and the AT gun going to be providing a lot of damage, and that will be the end of the Flame half-track. That was an expensive Flame half-track, and I don't really think it paid for itself, so a shame there for the Axis player. 2 MG42s, though, putting up stiff resistance with arcs well-positioned here, and that's probably going to force the Soviets back here. He could use the T-70 to try and spearhead through a bit, but there is a pack gun back here, so this is a nice defensive position here for Axis. But meanwhile, one squad of engineers just chewing away in the east of the map, so the whole time that this battle's going on, pretty much it's the allied player who's benefiting from this. So very nice stuff there. Man, these barbed wires being so annoying. Grenade going to come down into a building. Looks like Runner is aware of it. Going to just jink his infantry out of there to negate the effectiveness of that grenade. MG42 gets set up, and these shock troops probably... Oh, I don't know, actually. They might be able to fight these Ostrapen in just a second here. Yeah, the Ostrapen going to dive back into the building. MG42 creeps forward. Going to redeploy here. And, wow, grabbing the cutoff even. These engineers being so annoying here from Ashablois, doing some work with those engineers. So even if he might not be winning the actual battles on the field right now, he is kind of eking value out right now. And this T-70, 6 kills now, Vet 1 on that unit. The Pack 40 here to police that tank. Does get a good hit, actually. Just slightly too forward was that T-70. And that's going to be a Stug E onto the field. Hey, and this is probably a good map for a Stug E. I love a good Stug E, man. That unit's so good. It's got like 100 fuel or something, 75 fuel even. They're so cheap. And this is just a really good map. It's so open. You can just nudge, you can just micro the Stug back and forward, keep it shelling away at the enemy units. It is effective against a T-70 and all of the infantry you see here, so a good choice and not super expensive. Interesting to see that he builds the support armor core and then chooses a Stug E. Not the most intuitive thing ever, but I mean, you know, it's not a criticism, it's not the end of the world. He still has the flexibility to make an option from the support armor core later on if he wants. And we'll see if he's going to get any utility out of that building. A third MG42 going to be the pick here for expensive runner. Wow. Looks like going to be a play here from Ashablois to grab the cutoff again. Not actually going to be cutting off very much, but still just really annoying for your opponent. Ostrippin here, not going to be enough. The Stug E makes its presence felt though with a really nice opening shell. Whoa, they've changed the way those Stug E shells work now, man. Those are like mini broom bars. I mean, I like it. Those shells look like they're functioning a little bit differently to the old Stug E shells. So that looks really good. They're probably a lot less good against tanks now, though, because to hit a tank with that is going to be really tough, and those kinds of shells tend to be less effective against tanks. So it sounds like the Stug E has been made into more of an assault gun and less of a Stug, I suppose. And that's fine. That sounds fine to me. A sniper team going to be the choice here from Ashablois as this game moves forward. A late, or sort of later than we're often used to seeing sniper team, that. And I believe the Soviet snipers, yeah, they've been changed to be just one unit now, so they're pretty similar to the Axis or the British snipers, which is, I really like it as well. They just seem, I'm just more used to microing single unit snipers, so yeah, seems fine. T-70, sorry, I just clicked away for a second, but T-70 does go down there, Pack in a nice position, gonna pick up the kill on that one. Bit of a crippling blow there for the Soviet player. He obviously would have liked to have not lost that unit there. But this game's still definitely very much at parity. Remember the Axis player did lose a Flammenwerfer half track earlier. And this Stug E just providing so much pressure. Gonna push into a second AT gun. Trying to get the kill on this first one. It's going to take a little bit of AT shots here for its trouble, feeding veterancy onto these AT squads as well, which can be a problem. Because, oh wow, actually he does get the squad wipe on one of them. Oh wow, he gets 2 squad wipes there. I think a team of engineers just got squad wiped. What is the past tense of squad wipe? For some reason I nearly said squad wipe. Squad wiped. But anyway, yeah, Stug E getting into a nice position. Whoa, look how much damage this Stug E is doing. It's such a brute. It does get target weak point. Wow. Still gets target weak point. Yeah, so here we have the single scout sniper. Looks like he's rolled a male sniper here. And going to be trying to bust some Axis skulls here. Up to 4 already. Very nice. So yeah, I do like the change to just the single sniper for the Soviets. I just prefer microing a single sniper. I'm so used to it. Moment of quiet here as both forces going to jockey for position along the central line of the map. 4-4-7 for the Axis player versus 3-5-1 right now for Ashablois. So a fairly even game. Let's just check the tech here for the Axis player. He is going to escalate to battle phase 3, so perhaps thinking better of building an option from the support armor core, but that's fine. That is actually just fine. The support armor core costs only 15 fuel now and 140 manpower, so it's not nearly so much of an investment, a wasted opportunity if you build that building and then don't do anything with it, so that's great. And also the heavy armor core is just 25 fuel and 100 manpower, so like the Wehrmacht tech tree, it's just options now. It's so nice. Oh my goodness, it's just so nice to have that faction just liberated from the shackles of their really poorly designed tech tree. So anyway, here comes the Stug E rolling on into position. Going to start flumping shells in here. The first one not super effective. Probably wants to repair that Stug at some point if he gets a chance. Yeah, pretty even game at the moment. Oh! That shot into a cluster of Soviet infantry there. Devastating stuff. Gets another shot. And the Stug E just providing value here. M45 AT gun, sorry, M42 AT gun here. Gonna police that Stug back a little bit for now. Oh my goodness. I really like this Stug E. I'm gonna have to give this commander a go, I think. Is that the Pack 43? Yeah, well. Okay, so now he has to repair the Stug. And if I crack the tack, you can see the Axis player's position pretty compacted right now. He's going to call in another Stug E to help himself deal with this. Did he build the support armor core because you need it? No, you don't need it. Okay. I was just wondering if you needed the support armor core in order to call in the Stug 3 out of E, but you don't, apparently. So, yeah, 2 of these Stugs, one of them now with the armored skirts and 2 stars of Vet, looking very smart right now. Oh my goodness! Man, the way they have these much more Brumbar-like shells is absolutely terrifying. Oh my goodness! Well, that will be a squad wipe. Very nicely done there. By Expensive Runner. Gonna run foul of some mines here, but, you know, that's not the end of the world. And it seems like Expensive Runner has managed to push back most of the Soviet units for now, giving himself a moment of time where he can try and get some work done out on the map. He needs to get some units over into east of map, though, as he is beginning to bleed out tickets and cede resource control to his opponent, which is nowhere you want to be. You never want to be playing against a Soviet player who's had more fuel than you. That just makes life so hard as Axis. There's mixed fighting going on all along the front here. Nothing super decisive or pivotal. Looks like we've got a T-34. Going to be the choice here from our Soviet player. He was quite close to being able to hold on for the KV-2 heavy assault tank, actually. So I'm a little surprised to see this T-34. I guess the T-34 is probably better against these Stug E's, though. And so I don't hate the pick. The KV-2 fires those like really heavy but quite slow shells. Oh my goodness, these Stugs are just so dangerous. Ah! Oh man. Wow. And we thought B4s were good. Look at these things. Alright, so here's the T-34 coming out onto the field. The Soviet infantry roster has been trimmed down considerably, though. Ashablois is going to need to reinvigorate his infantry lineup with a couple more squads, hopefully in the near future. But it is tempting to just try and save up for that KV-2 as well. So that's the choice open before him right now. And it's up to him. This is probably a great map for a KV-2 as well. If you put it in siege mode like here, it like threatens like most of middle of map. So that's pretty good. T-34 going to come out here. Seems like Expensive Runner heard it or saw it because he's pulling back his Stugs. Are there any mines here? Seemingly not. T-34 going to get a nice shot opening the engagement against this Stug E, as my mouse has another glitch there. And, some veterancy beginning to appear on that, and yeah, those Stug E shells not looking particularly effective against the Soviet medium at the moment, though. You know what is effective? A Pack 40. And that's going to force the Soviet medium back now. Sniper up right now to 13 headshots, not bad stuff. And here, this looks like a pretty determined push here from the Axis forces. 5 squads here, including decent anti-tank support. Going to be making a push from west to east here. Penal Battalion forced to flee before the advance of the Stug E. The 2-star Stug E going to be pushing in from the north and taking some shots. There's a sniper around here who's also forced back. Don't want to lose the expensive elite infantryman there to a stray Stug E high explosive shell. And yeah, Axis forces just garrisoning fuel points with MG42s, doing Axis things at the fringes of the map. Although, having said that, shock troops and some other Soviet units are also active elsewhere, capping points for the Soviet player. A second T-34. Okay, so absolutely, definitely not going to be saving up for a KV-2 just yet, is the choice from Ashablois. So yeah, 2 T-34s, I guess I like that. We probably are going to see a heavy Panzer Corps getting constructed the next time some Pioneers fall back. And so, for now, these 2 T-34s will be the dominant force on the field. They can push around the 2 Stug E's with relative ease, and they can push around the Pack Gun if they should get a flank on it. Probably may even force a second... Okay, yeah, there are actually 2 Pack Guns out already. I was going to say, may even force a second Pack Gun. So we've got 2 Pack Guns. That is a strong enough deterrent to deal with 2 T-34s under the right conditions. So both players here with the tools they need to take a good fight. It's all going to come down to the positioning and decision making as these fights get underway. As for the decision on the second T-34, I don't know, like, let me know in chat, like, what do you guys, or in chat, in the messages, like, what do you guys reckon to the second T-34? Do you like it here? I'm just not sure about it. Whoa, we're going to run foul of some mines here as this T-34. The engine there damaged. So we're going to see some Pat guns, I imagine, transition over to try and deal with it. No, Pat guns transitioning west because the other T-34 is pushing here. Stug in position to try and deflect some of the infantry. The Pat gun's starting to take shots into this T-34 and it has to GTFO. Pat gun's just so very good at taking out T-34s, but one of the Pat guns does get picked apart by the Penal Battalion, so nice work there from Ashablois. And if he can get this other Pat gun somehow, I mean, this is already great that he's got one. If he can somehow pick up the other, that would be nice. Lining up the M42 in the tree line here, taking some snipe shots into these Stug Es, getting some nice hits. These Stug Es in jeopardy. I'm not sure Expensive Runner actually realizes right now that he's taking so much fire from this tree line. Oh, one of the Stug Es has the main gun destroyed, manages to get out of there. The M42 also forced back because these Stug Es are so destructive against stationary infantry. So very nice engagement there from both players, respecting each other's unit strengths and trying to use their units the best way they can. Taking out a Pat gun there, obviously nice there. That was the Vet Pat gun as well from Expensive Runner. So he's going to lose his vetted Pat gun. A Katusha! Nice! We've got a Katusha coming out here from the Mechanized Armor Campanier. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Do I like this Katusha? I mean, yeah, I think I do. Katushas are always strong. Your opponent is using a really infantry-heavy setup with 3 MGs and 2 Pat guns. A Katusha can rain havoc. Arrgh! My god, these Stug Es. The Katusha can rain havoc onto pretty much any point on the map. And yeah, I think that this Katusha could be really nice. So I think I do like this choice here. I guess part of me is just slightly sad that we're not going to see another KV2 game, and this could have been like an early KV2 game, so it would have been interesting. Anyway, 50 or so tickets right now, 45 tickets, the difference in this game, so more or less a tied game. Both players with decent armies, pressuring each other, looking after their units, both players pushing, probing, but not over-committing. So far this looks like a game between two really, just two players who really know what they're doing. So that's good stuff here. Katusha rolls forward and takes its initial barrage. And it's going to try and find this Pat gun here. Pat gun decides to start moving. None of the rockets have actually found the Pat gun yet. There's one. Yeah, it gets some damage onto that Pat gun. And another. Yeah, so 2 hits onto that Pat gun. Not quite the opening barrage that you hope for as a Soviet player. Gets 1 infantry kill and a modicum of veterancy, so not the best opening barrage there. The cooldown on Katyushas these days appears to be about 90 seconds or so. Maybe a little more. So, yeah. That Katusha going to be... How much is a Katusha these days? Sorry, I know there's a fight going on. 85 fuel, 360 manpower. Interesting. Going to be getting a 3rd T-34? Wow. Well, if I wasn't sure about the second one, I'm definitely not sure about the 3rd one. This just seems like you are just begging for a Panther from your opponent to come and spank you. I don't know about the 3rd T-34. You're going to get Panthered in the face, my friend. But anyway, big old fight going on here. Soviet armor pushing in here from east to west. Gets the flank nicely. One of the AT guns gets stugged down, but the 2-star Stug here getting spit roasted, and it will be destroyed here. Pat gun in the west flank is recrewed. And this T-34 finds itself bogged down in the arc, but it will get out. And he wants the other Stug. He gets the other Stug, so he trades one of his T-34s, which has actually been destroyed over here by the other Pat gun. One of his T-34s goes down in exchange for 2 Stug Es. This looks pretty smart. He may even be able to grab a Pat gun as well, which looks very smart. So a lovely move there from Ashablois, and one of the first decisive blows we've seen dealt in this mid-phase of the game. So a nice exchange there from Ashablois, whose Katusha is probably going to be coming up for another barrage soon, so we've got to watch for that. And yeah, just nice stuff there. Ashablois getting out on the field, making a move, seeing an opportunity and getting value, and that's what we like. So, Expensive Runner up against it a little bit here. Feels priced into going for a Stug, like a regular Stug, to deal with these T-34s, which I don't hate, but he was so close to a Panther. Like, I appreciate he doesn't have the manpower, but I don't know, I feel like you have to try and hold on and try and get a Panther. Because a Panther just is so good on this map. It's so open. The Panther's speed can really be a useful factor. And we've got some what is this? Sector artillery raining down right now. Pat gun gets recrewed. Here comes the Stug, which I'm not in love with. The Stug. I think if you just save up for another minute, it's going to be difficult. But if you save up for another minute, you can just get a regular Panther. Oh, actually, wait. Yeah, he does even have the heavy Panzer core. How much is a Panther these days? 490. Yeah, I think a Panther should have been the choice there. If you just save up a little bit more. But that's just me, and I think Expensive Runner feels sufficiently flustered and under pressure right now that he felt like he had to go for a more immediate armoured choice, and the Stug is going to arrive much sooner. There's an engine-broken T-34 here, providing an ideal first target for this Stug, and he does pick up the kill. So hard to argue that this Stug hasn't been effective. Of course, the Panther probably would have done something sooner, but wouldn't have arrived until a bit later. So this Stug finding an opportunity to get some work done, getting a good amount of veterancy under its belt already. T-34 here coming in quite close to the Stug, but not going to be able to flank it just yet. Another shot from the Stug coming up here, and some damage being dealt. Engine damage as well, coming off of a Faust here. So really nice stuff from Expensive Runner, trying to do something to redress the balance of power after he was crippled in the last exchange by losing all of his armor. And he's going to be doing quite well. Penal Battalion coming forward. Stug going to get one more shot here. No, it's not. Oh, he doesn't get the last shot, so the T-34 will sneak away alive, but that's okay. He needs to save the Stug. Infantry crawling all over it. PTRSs in the hood, and he is going to sneak that Stug away. I absolutely understand why he didn't stay for a potential killing blow on the T-34, as he probably would have lost his Stug, and with it, his hopes in this game. Now, he has some resources here. He has some fuel. He could buy an Ostwind. He could buy a Panzer IV. Or he could save for a Panther. Katusha Barrage going to be coming on down, raining into the Axis base. For not very much effect, these Pioneers may get wasted. Yep, they're going to get wasted. So that's unfortunate there for the Axis player. Nice Katusha Barrage, getting some veterancy and up to 4 kills now on that. So that's pretty nice. And as I crack the tack, I think it's safe to say Allies with the advantage right now, both in terms of map presence and in terms of army size. Look at the top left, look at the top right. Just substantially more losses suffered by the Axis forces over these last few phases of play. One of the MG42s, I believe, now also stolen onto the Allied forces' side. Oh, booby traps even coming down. Very nice. I think that was some mines. So yeah, things looking to be going Ashablois' way right now. The scoreline reflecting that. Triple cap in force, 309 over 211. And it's Expensive Runner who finds himself going into the late game with everything to do. Another T-34, and my goodness, is this a Brumbar? We have a Brumbar being built in a ladder game. Somebody call Relic. There's a glitch in the game. Somebody's building a Brumbar in a ladder game. I'm excited to see what the Brumbar actually does. I haven't seen one in like a long time. So yeah, let's see what this unit does. Expensive Runner, proven to be a player who enjoys Brumbar-style units, if his usage of the Stug E was anything to go by. So definitely a man who feels at home using these types of assault guns. Katusha, thinking about angling for a shot, going to fall back just for now, but that Katusha's barrage is going to be ready here momentarily, so we're going to expect to hear the scream of Soviet rockets momentarily. This MG42 in a hellish position, actually, right on the doorstep of the Axis player's base. Hopefully a Brumbar will be able to solve that. Here comes the Brumbar, loving the skin choices on these tanks as well. Meanwhile, T-34 going to be exchanging, 2 T-34s going to be exchanging with the Stug, who has to try and GTFO. Where's the Brumbar? It's kind of, it's just turning around and being a little bit idle in the Axis player's base. This T-34 on its last legs, the Stug in a great position, has 2 stars. Oh, the ram is going to be denied. So this Stug looking super, super nice now. 2 stars of veterancy, 2 vehicle kills on that thing. Armored skirts now in place, so that Stug looking pretty smart. Brumbar comes forward, going to miss one of its initial shots there. Getting a little bit of damage onto the MG squad, but not too much. This T-34 whittling it down, but the Brumbar can push. And it's going to miss its next shot as well. So not the opening shots you wanted with the Brumbar. MG42 pintle mount upgrade does finish, but Expensive Runner here is still under the hammer. 157 under 309. Triple cap still in force. If I crack the tack, you can see the story. Allied forces with a much more diverse and larger army occupying middle of field. He has a Katusha, he has a sniper, he has all the options he needs to slow down, whittle away at, and bludgeon his Axis opponent into submission here. And there's not a lot of time left for Expensive Runner to get some work done. So Expensive Runner does have 4 squads of Struppen in good nick, a 2-star Stug looking pretty smart, and a Brumbar. So he has the tools to make a play here. but he's going to need to wait for the right opportunity or force an error out of Ashablois. So we're going to have to see whether he can make something like that happen. This MG42 squad going to escape just about. Katusha Barrage finding some kills, but not a squad wipe. Meanwhile, looks like Axis forces fanning out around the map. Where's the Brumbar? It's lost its engine. I didn't see how that happened. I think it hit some mines, perhaps? Yeah, I think it hit some mines here. So that Brumbar, and this is just time that Expensive Runner does not have to spend repairing that Brumbar. He's on borrowed time already. 112 now under 309. The triple cap still not showing any signs of going anywhere. Allied forces dug into these forward bunkers, these trenches, and just forcing Axis units back time and time again. He's unable to get rid of these trenches. The Stug has to get out. No support for that unit. And now we have an Su-85 on the field. Yeesh. And you have to think this is just an intelligent and correct choice from Ashablois. This answers the Brumbar and the Stug, and if you're not fighting with those, you're basically losing this game. So, yeah, I think Expensive Runner in a really rough spot here. The Su-85 going to make itself known with a thunderous shot across the river. And now the Brumbar finds itself under the arc of the terrifying Soviet tank destroyer. And neither of these units really with armor heavy enough to reliably repel shots from this Su-85, even at longer range. So, yeah, this Su-85, pretty much the kingmaker now. Going to be able to boss its way around the field. The Axis position so compacted. He does somehow capture AVP, stemming the bleed for now a little, but he's still losing tickets, 78 under 309, and no sign of being able to capture mid or west, or even really hold on to east VP here. So, yeah, not looking great for Expensive Runner. This is going to be really tough. Is the Katusha going to sneak forward for a... Yeah, here's the Katusha. Going to come forward for a barrage right now. There it is. Oh, what a good barrage! Right into the Axis advance. The Brumbar comes forward, gets a nice shot and its first star of veterancy. But there are just... What is it getting hit by? What is it getting hit by here that is AT? It's getting nailed by something. Okay, well the Brumbar gets like swiftly cut down to size. I think the Katusha put some damage on it, and like it felt like, was the Su-85 in range, or I don't know. But yeah, that Brumbar has to fall back. It's lost its main gun, is that? Or is the Pintle mount? Yeah, it's lost the main gun. So that's pretty rough. A Soviet squad does get taken out there, some of the 3-star penals I believe it was, so that's nice. Su-85 going to creep forward, Stug going to try and answer it. The engine gets damaged on the Su-85, T-34 going to commit to try and save it though. I just don't think there's enough AT, the Su-85 is so low. The Stug creeping away. The Su-85 has the rate of fire advantage with the T-34 here, that ought to be a kill on this Stug. The Brumbar taking hits, but still living. How is this T-34 not killing this Stug? There we go. That was a good Stug, but it wasn't enough. And with the demise of the Stug, okay, the Su-85 goes down, but this is a really rough spot now. 35 under 309, 3-star, a triple cap, sorry, for the Allied player. And this is looking to be the end of the road for TR Expensive Runner, who's fought a good game here, using some unconventional units and tactics, in my opinion anyway. It's not often I see double Stuggy into Brumbar. I don't know, maybe that's the new meta now, but it really doesn't feel like it. And Ashablois just staying well on top of his opponent here. 37 headshots on his sniper. And some fantastic usage. There we go. He's going to overrun into the base for the GG as Expensive Runner sees the writing on the wall. Yeah, just a great game there on Crossing in the Woods. A nice, even early game and early mid game. The two Stuggies looking fairly dominant. But some canny use of some light anti-tank guns, able to keep the early assault guns in check from Ashablois there, calling in the two M42s. And then as the game goes on, relying on the might of the T-34, I was sceptical. I liked the first one, but the second and third T-34s, I was like, really? Is this what we're doing? But Ashablois, he knew what he was doing. He had a plan for those units. And to be fair, on this map, the T-34 really thrives as a mobile base of fire, which can help deal with all of the armoured choices we saw from the Axis player. Even the Brumbar can be threatened by those T-34s, and certainly the Stugs can be bossed around. And of course, with the Allies, if you have field domination, you are always okay trading out T-34s for value, and we saw some trades for value. We saw Stugs go down for T-34s being traded out, and after that exchange, the Su-85 was just the nail in the coffin, the Katusha providing consistent value. Okay, only 8 kills and 1 star of veterancy, but it's I think the value of the Katusha in this game, not necessarily so much the actual kills it got, but just a lot in terms of keeping back the Axis attempts to recapture the map. Just throwing barrages into the base to reduce, to tax manpower and mean that the Axis player has to spend longer getting his forces ready to try and retake the field. I mean, those are the kind of things that win games when you have a triple cap. And when the Axis player was finally ready to move out, that Katusha barrage straight into the middle of his advance in this location, I mean, that's pretty devastating for your hopes to try and get back into this game for TR Expensive Runner. And indeed, that was his demise. He was able to put together a kill on the Su-85, but it was too late to matter, and he traded out a lot of his important units to do so. So, an interesting game here from both players, and a handy Soviet victory, and a pleasure to watch. So, yeah, that concludes this battle. Thank you very much for watching, and this for now is Magpie842 signing out.